Hi guys, Edward Freytag here with a tutorial for you for the Tennessee 2020-21 All-State Jazz Percussion Prepared piece. This is for Section C, the Cabasa Etude. I'm going to cover every aspect of it so everything will be crystal clear for you, and hopefully this will really enhance your audition experience by getting to see the techniques here. So let's get underway. So if you'll take a look at letter C in your music, you'll notice the very first thing that happens. It says Cabasa shake front to back, fast to slow. When I'm holding the instrument in the traditional sense, normally I'm holding it like this. So this would be considered the front of the instrument. This is the back of the instrument. So when I'm talking about a shake front to back, I'm wanting the change to go forward and then to come to the back. Fast to slow, I'm going to do it very fast like a shaker, and then I'm going to gradually slow it down. And you'll notice as I'm doing this shake and it's slowing down, I'll turn my hand sideways, and that way I've got good contact and good control where I can keep the chains moving back and forth to a really, really slow pace. So this should go something like this. So here's the Cabasa shake front to back, fast to slow. So the very next section, right after the shake, goes into 12/8 time. Tempo marked somewhere around 128 to 136, which gives you a little bit of leeway there. And that'll be dotted quarter. So if you'll notice in your notation, I've got it written to where there's some rights and lefts, which may not make sense at first. And then there's some arrows pointing down and some arrows pointing up. What I'm intending there with this particular technique is the following. What we're going to do is we're going to play this 12/8 feel based on a triplet kind of feel, basically. And the cabasa is going to move just forward and back, creating the 12/8 feel. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So every time my hand goes forward, I'm considering that to be right. When my hand comes back, I'm considering it to be left. So that explains the terminology there. And the arrows pointing down, the cabasa is moving down, cabasa is moving up. Now, what I'm going to also do with this technique, where you see the X's. So on that first right, you see an accent with an X. When the cabasa moves forward, not only are we going to get that motion, but we're also going to get this with the left hand. That's going to be my very first accent. So if you'll see, I've got 2 in a row there. Then I have a right, left, right, right, left, left. So all the lefts that you see are going to be when the cabasa is coming back, the left hand is going to catch and also create an accent. So if you look at your very first measure right there, I'm going to loop that groove a little bit just on that first measure of the 12/8 so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So here we go. Cool. That makes sense? All right. So the second measure, same techniques, except for the fact that the rhythm and the notation is a little bit different. I've got 3 slaps in a row, if you will, or accents in a row, and then I've got 4 in a row, and then some lefts. So that second measure, cool. The third measure goes back to the original part of the groove. So if I put those 3 measures together in 12/8, we're going to end up with this. One more time. The very next measure moves into 4/4 time and is based on 16th notes. Again, same techniques are in place that you used in the 12/8. It's just going to be moving a little bit faster. So the first 4/4 bar that you see there, we're going to have 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, E up. That's going to be where our accents are placed. And the technique will be this. I'm going to do it slowly one time. Again. Okay, here it is up tempo. One more. Cool. If you look at the very last, or next to the last measure of the Cabasa section, you'll see a very similar measure to what we just played, with the exception of at the very end, there's 2 eighth notes, and then it goes into a shake technique. So that particular measure, one more. The next measure, the last measure, if you'll notice, goes back to a shake, very similar to what we have in the first measure of the Cabasa section. There's one slight difference. Instead of front to back, it says side to side. So again, using the same logic at the beginning, if this is front and back, these are going to be the sides. So this shake will be like this. It'll be with the Cabasa up, and I'm going to have the chains move from front of the barrel to the back of the barrel. So this particular shake will sound like this. Notice when I got to the end of the shake, I tried to keep the Cabasa level instead of letting it tip over. That way I get good motion back and forth, even at the slower pace. I'm going to do that one more time for you. So now we're going to back up to kind of the middle of the piece, the 12/8 right after the first 4/4 bar. If you'll notice, there's a technique in there, looks like a little tremolo cymbal and a little odd note head, but most importantly it says right above that, it says gravity spin. If you happen to have seen my Cabasa Crazy video that's already on YouTube, you'll already know what I'm talking about. If not, here's what we do. The gravity spin is a technique that sets the chains in motion and lets them spin by themselves so you can actually get a sustain out of the instrument. Here's what it looks like and sounds like. Not really as hard as it looks. Let me show you what to do. You take your hand and you flip the wrist outward. And when you do that, the chains will start automatically spinning, as you hear, okay? Then, when you reach the peak of the spin, you turn your hand back in and the chains will continue spinning, bringing you back to your stopping point. Now, if you want to, you can do the spin and then bring it in and catch it in your left hand, and it puts a real definitive stopping point. Ready? So, gravity spin. Now, we incorporated it into this 12/8 groove by putting it on the 4th beat, so to speak, of 2 of the measures. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. I'll play that first measure alone so you can just see the gravity spin. And if you'll notice, it's tied across the bar, so I'm going to stop the spin right on the next count 1. So here we go. Right, I'll do that again. Pull that back up, cool. All right, then we have a measure of just regular notation, like our original measure. Then we go into the next measure and we do another gravity spin. There it is right there. There's what's really happening, because you've got an accent there that leads you into the spin, and then you stop the spin on your next downbeat. Make sense? Cool. All right, let's get a full performance of the piece. This is letter C in the etude, and it's the Cabasa section to the end of the piece. Here we go.